Feeling overwhelmed by the challenges of being a single parent? You are not alone. Welcome to the Single Parent Reset, the podcast that helps you navigate the ups and downs of single parenthood and find the balance that you deserve. Whether you're a single parent, co-parent or a solo parent, this is the show for you. I'm Orla and I'm a life coach for single parents. And as a single parent myself, I know how hard it can be. But I also believe that every single parent has the strength to create a life that they are proud of. In each episode, we'll shine a light on the unique struggles single parents face and cover the aspects of single parenting that are too often overlooked and left unspoken. I'll be sharing actionable steps to help you overcome these challenges and find a more calm and fulfilled life. Single Parent Reset is your weekly opportunity to gain a fresh perspective, take back control, and feel more in charge of your journey. Do you feel like people are always talking about self-care and you have a vague idea how it could be good for you, but you just don't know where to even start and can't even imagine where you're going to fit that into your already busy day? You will definitely want to listen to today's episode. I'm going to talk about building a self-care toolkit that works for you so that you can start bringing self-care into your everyday life. Imagine having a go-to list that you can use when life feels overwhelming. Instead of burning out, you'll know exactly what to do to feel better. Self-care is incredibly important for single parents. We are completely overstretched, spinning all the plates and pushed to the point of near burnout far too often with the overwhelming weight of responsibilities that sit on our shoulders. Figuring out a self-care routine that works for you can help you navigate day-to-day life with ease and intention. And when I say routine, I like to think of it less of a routine and more of a toolkit that can be stocked full of different tools for the right moment at the right time. Because there are times as single parents where we need to blow off some steam, and there are other times when we need something to help us calm and relax ourselves. And there is no one size fits all, and the key is to figure out what works for you and building a self-care toolkit that works for you. I remember in the early days when I became a single parent, it was a Friday evening in winter and my son had just been collected to spend the weekend with his dad. I had plans to see friends the following day because I knew by then to make sure that I had some plans pre-made ahead of the weekend without my son. But my Friday evening was stretched ahead of me, wide open, and the last thing I wanted to do was to be left sitting with my thoughts. Because there were some Fridays in those early days when I had to not be with my son that I was just feeling down, and it was hard to pull myself out of it. I wasn't in the mood for socialising, but I knew I definitely had to get out. And I started to think, well, what could I do? I'd recently started swimming at my local Lido, and I decided that maybe that would be a good distraction for the evening. Now, the last thing I also wanted to do was to head out into the dark, cold night, but with not much else on offer, I packed my bag up and I jumped on the train to the Lido. As I ran from the changing room to the Lido, yes, it is outdoors, but thank God it is heated. I was freezing cold as I ran, and I really was beginning to regret this decision. But then I started to spin, and as that steam rose off the warm water, I felt my thoughts begin to calm. The sadness that normally hung over me after handing my son over for the weekend began to fade away. I didn't feel sorry for myself anymore, and I found myself enjoying being out, doing something alone, and looking forward to my weekend ahead of me. I got out of the water and I was a new person. I couldn't believe how one swim could transform my moods. This was for me the moment I realised the importance and the power of self-care. It helped me shift my mood and helped me realise that I could look after myself. I didn't need or want for someone else to look after me. It was then that I started to think about all the other ways I could bring mini moments of calm or breathing room to my day just for me, to help me keep my mood level and show up as a better mum for my son and friend to my friends who have been so supportive of me. I'll share with you today how you can create a self-care toolkit that works for you and one you will want to be using daily. So, first of all, I'm going to share a little bit about my own self care toolkit, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So, I've broken mine down into three sections. One is things that are dull but nourishing for me, two, things that are fun activities, and three, exercise. So, starting off with the dull. So, dull and nourishing things, these are things that might not sound exciting, but for me, I've now learned to realize they help me reset. So for me, these are things like reading, doing crosswords, listening to podcasts, cleaning, yes, cleaning, or even doing a digital detox. These are small things that bring me back to my center. And then as for fun activities, when I need to lighten the mood or bring some joy, I turn to seeing friends, diving into a good movie or show, or escaping into something entertaining. And then there's exercise. Physical activity is a big one for me. Swimming, yoga, running, or even sitting in a sauna. Moving my body helps me clear my head and boost my moods. So that gives you an idea of what's in my toolkit, but this has taken me years to gather, and there's been some things that I've tried, chucked out, and other things that I've clung on to and really kept. Like swimming. Swimming is something without fail, I guarantee you I'm there once a week getting my swim. So how can you build your toolbox? So building your own toolbox takes some trial and error, and you might not even know what you like yet. But here's some things that you can do to get you started. Be curious and open. Give yourself permission to try new things without any pressure. You might not like it, you might like it. Recently, I tried climbing. Did I like it? Not so much. But did I try it? I did, and it was a fun day out. Also, start small. You don't need to overhaul your entire routine. Start with one or two small activities that feel doable. So maybe it is trying out reading a book before bed every night, or it could be trying doing 5 minutes of meditation in the morning or while the kettle boils. One thing I like to do is look back at your childhood joys. Think about what brought you joy as a kid. Was it riding a bike? Was it drawing or watching old Disney movies? Those simple pleasures might still light you up. So go back to those things, try them out and see what comes up for you. Also, involve your kids. Some toolbox activities can include your kids, like going for a bike ride, watching a favourite family movie, or spending a day out at a park together. For me, I love going for a cycle with my son, so this is a really big thing that we do. And when we go for that cycle, yes, it's for him to have fun, but for me, I know it's to clear my head, and I really, really enjoy it, and I'm always in a better mood afterwards. And also remember, it's for you. Your toolbox doesn't need to be fancy or impressive. It's not for anyone else. It's about what works for you. Don't be trying to compare yourself to someone who goes to the gym every single day or someone who meditates every single day. Great, that works for them. You need to find something that is going to work for you. And also remember, you might try something that doesn't work, and that's okay. Self-care is about experimenting until you find what truly clicks for you. Be curious and be patient with yourself. So now you've built your self-care toolbox. The next thing is using it. Having a great toolbox is great, but you need to know how to use it. So create that list, write down your toolbox activities and keep them handy. I know it seems simple, but sometimes there will be things you'll try that you've loved, but you'll forget them if you don't write them down. So that way, because they're written down, when you have some time to yourself or you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't have to make a decision. You can just pick something from the list, take some of the effort away. Tune into your needs. So not every tool will work in every situation. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? Do I need an intense workout or a big night out or something calming like a bath? So for me, for example, if I know I've got a really intense, busy day at work, what really helps is going for a run in the morning, getting that energy out, gets my brain thinking, really gets me going. On the flip side, if I've had a run of loads of busy days at work and I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed, for me, it's yoga. Yoga calms me down, keeps me calm. Another thing is, if I've had a really intense weekend with my son, where it's been one-on-one time, just me and him, and I'm feeling overwhelmed, I know I need a dinner with friends. That's what will sort me out, and it always does. So it's just understanding the different things that will help you, again, level out your mood. Recognize also what's nourishing. Some activities might seem indulgent, but if they help you regulate your emotions or recharge your energy, they're worth it. For me, for example, once a month, there's a sauna nearby me that I go to. Now, it's not that expensive, but it's indulgent, I find, because it's time. It takes a lot of time for me to go there. But it's honestly, it's so worth it. I love it. It's like one of my favorite things I do each month, and I make sure I go there. So now we know how to build the toolbox and we know how to kind of use it in practice. The next thing is, well, what's stopping you building it? Because trust me, there are going to be excuses to get you in the way to building this toolbox. So now let's talk about them and why we're not prioritizing ourselves. Excuses are totally normal and we all have them, but it's important to recognize them and also challenge them. Some common excuses could be, I don't have time, I'm too tired, I don't even know where to start. Challenge these excuses like you would almost like a child who doesn't want to go to bed. You're too tired? Then why don't you do something calming? We've all been there with children, but trying to put them to bed and they're all great negotiators. When you don't want to look after yourself, there's that voice in your head that is also a great negotiator. So speak to that voice and see what you can do to bring it down. Remove any barriers that you might have. Think about what's really stopping you. If it's time, how can you carve out even just 10 minutes to yourself? If it's guilt that's holding you back, remind yourself that taking care of yourself benefits everyone around you. If a particular activity feels completely out of reach right now, maybe you need to adjust that goal. Ask yourself, what's the essence of that goal? For example, if you can't manage a full workout, maybe a quick stretch or a walk can give you still the same benefits. And also, when you're taking care of yourself, you're modeling really healthy habits for your kids. They're going to see that you're prioritizing your well-being, and that's a really great lesson to teach them. No one else is going to come up with and build this toolbox for you. This is your work, and it's worth it. Having a set of tools at your disposal can make a huge difference in how you handle life's challenges and find moments of joy and calm. Hopefully, after listening today, you have realised that self-care is not just about meditating for hours on end. It is about finding things that help you find connection to yourself and maintain a level mood. It does not need to be complicated, and it doesn't even need to look like self-care to others, but however, it may very well be self-care to you. I'd love to know, what is the one thing you're going to do today to start building your self-care toolkit? If you're interested in working with me one-to-one, please go to my website, Sudda's Coaching, for further details. And don't forget to follow my Instagram page @Sudda's Coaching for more insightful content on living a life to be proud of as a single parent. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Single Parent Reset. You've taken 15 minutes out of your day to do something for you, and that alone is definitely a step in the right direction. If you find this useful, please share it with your friends and family. And remember, some single parents may seem like they have it all together, but this could be exactly what they need to hear to get them through this week. So do the kind thing and pass it on.